Mr. MVP, are you there? Or is it NFT MVP?
I am.
Where are you at?
I'm definitely here.
Where I don't see you.
Here.
Is it just a phoner? I mean, it's there he is. Where are you at, MVP? You keeping me waiting? What, now you're a big shot? You got a title shot? You keeping me waiting? Come on.
I apologize.
You got everyone scrambling. Everyone. Bellator scrambling. Tim scrambling. You're trying to play hard to get, huh, MVP?
Yeah, no, we're moving up now, aren't we? We're moving up.
I mean, guy gets a title shot and he forgets about the little people. 30 minutes late. What's the excuse? You got to have a good excuse, right?
To be fair, I was still in the gym. I literally just rushed back from the gym.
Oh, okay.
Now,
I'm sorry.
My coach is putting me through. So no, not at all.
I did send you a message yesterday on WhatsApp. You're always good to reply, but it said the last time you were on WhatsApp was on Thursday, so it made me a little nervous. I'm not going to lie.
No, it's I'm having issues with my other phone, so I've actually got a new line as well. So I'll send you that over.
What, the plug line or the other line? What is it? The plug and the low or something?
Come on, I can't let you know that.
All right. Well, I was saying, I was very salty. I was like, wow, MVP stood me up. We didn't get the exclusive. We didn't get the first interview. We got nothing here. I mean, and you don't seem like that kind of guy. Here I am laying it on thick.
Not me. My apologies.
Congrats on getting.
Love for you, man.
Yes, I was hoping so. No song this time.
Oh, I got music. If you want music, man, I got vibes.
What we got?
I always got vibes, man.
You weren't prepared because you just rushed back from the gym.
That's what I'm saying. I wasn't ready.
That's
what I'm saying. I'm ready now.
Yeah, now I'm in a better mood. Now I feel better.
That's what I do for you, man.
That's right. Apology accepted. I'm in my vibe. Yes. Oh, I gotta get up. I gotta get up again.
Yeah, let's get it.
Come on, MVP. Tried to stand me up. You don't know about this. Hey. Chips with the dip. Give me some chips with the dip, MVP. Give me some chips with the dip. You're crazy, man. You're crazy. Congrats on the title. Congrats on the title shot. Why is it happening in May, though? I feel like that's way too long. Why are we announcing this 5 months in advance, MVP?
It's about the build-up, man. It's about the story. We want to make it a big occasion. The last one, obviously there was a story already. It's kind of like it was just the story was already there. It's easy to kind of to get what had happened. We had history in the past, and I've been pushing for that fight. There's already a history there. No one really knows. There's not really anything between us outside of just us being at the top of our game. So I think it just gives us enough time to kind of push it, get our training up to make sure we're both at our best.
So you're happy with the timing?
Yeah, it is. To be fair, I'm not complaining.
I mean, you're getting a title shot and you're getting to do it at home. It's rare that the challenger gets to fight for the belt at home, right? Are you surprised that he agreed to that? I feel like you're the bigger draw here, if we're being honest, so you get more of a say.
Yeah, I think that's what it is, to be fair. I think he gets that as well. And I don't think he's worried about it. He's an amazing opponent, he hasn't faced the defeat yet. So what's there for him to worry about?
You impressed with him?
Yeah, I think he's a talented fighter. Technically, when you think about it, arguably one of the best in MMA, especially based on his record. Technically, the best in MMA based on his record. Only second to Khabib, who's now retired. So, I'm dealing with somebody that is an amazing mixed martial artist.
It's one of those tough ones where he's super tough, and everyone who watches the sport and watches Bellator knows that, but he's not exactly like the biggest household name, right? It's almost like you have to explain to people just how tough he is so that they understand just how special it will be if you beat him, right?
Yeah, 100%. He obviously hasn't, I guess it might be the language barrier as well. He's not necessarily, as you say, a household name, hasn't got a big profile, but the guy's a beast. The guy's an absolute beast. And, we all saw that with, how he dealt with Douglas Lima as well. and multiple other opponents that he's gone through in Bellator, and obviously before. So yeah, no, a great opponent.
Speaking of Lima, that was your last fight. Big win for you. The rematch, exacting revenge. How did you feel about that fight and that performance?
Yeah, I wasn't happy. No, I wasn't not happy. I was happy. Obviously, I got the result, but I think we're all quite harsh on ourselves. We want to push ourselves and be better. So I feel like I could have performed better. There's certain things I was a bit hesitant on, but again, the guy is an absolute monster in there, man. He's such a tough guy. Yeah, you know, his accolades speak for itself. So it wasn't something that I could I didn't feel like I could take the same risks I may normally do. And the win was the most important thing more than anything. So I definitely feel like I could have done better, which is another reason why I kind of wanted to go again. But yeah, obviously happy with the win.
It seems like that may have been the fight that changed Bellator's stance on non-title main events, because now they're going 5 rounds for those. Do you like that?
I don't like how it was done per se.
Tell me why.
Simply because, as you say, it felt like that fight was what kind of pushed it on to that. And I know there's this big thing about fighters' pay, but you're asking me to do extra rounds and without talking about our purses going up for doing so. So, you know, it's 10 extra minutes that people get potentially. Outside of that, I get why it's done, but yeah, I feel like it was a bit of a knee-jerk reaction to what took place. Versus actually, you know, sitting down and actually, you know, planning it out properly. I know, you know, Scott Colcock did mention that he had, you know, spoken about it prior anyway, but I hadn't seen any of that, so he may have as well. But yeah, it just seemed a bit. It felt like it almost depleted my win against Lima. So I feel like it was just done with a bit too much haste. But at the same time, yeah, like if it makes sense, I completely understand why, you know, they would do that, and other organizations that, you know, they're already doing it, and it does make sense.
You bring up a great point, if only because it feels like maybe the message was, hey, we needed 2 more rounds of this, so now we're going to do this. And you don't hear a lot of fighters who say that, what you just said. So I give you props for that. Like you should get paid more if you're going to work more, right? Put more, you know, time on the clock. I'm assuming that hasn't been discussed, right? Nothing's really changed.
No, I was just more talking just based on doing extra rounds for like non-title fights.
Yeah.
No, I'm not talking just personally for myself. I'm talking for anybody that's now going to be in that situation. There should now be a discussion about the extra time that is going to be on. Like same with any job in the world. Yeah, if you're going to do extra time, there's talk of extra pay. So it just feels like we get bullied a lot in this sport, and we're already struggling over here. So. It's just, I feel like people need to take a bit more consideration of the fighter and how it affects them, not just the entertainment side.
I couldn't agree more. By the way, in Bellator, because I know in the UFC you get like a main event bonus. Do you guys get that for non-title fights in Bellator?
I don't think so, no.
Maybe that comes into play. That would be very interesting. I also saw, you know, the guy who's been talking about this a lot recently is Jake Paul. It seemed like you were campaigning for the Jake Paul fight there for a second. I saw after the Woodley fight, you posted something on your social media.
Yeah.
And it feels actually like that's a fight that could be made, if only because you're both Showtime, you know. I mean, he's a free agent, but it could happen. Was this ever discussed seriously? Was it ever brought?
Oh, no. It was just kind of in the moment.
Yeah.
Me just saying, like, you know, I feel like someone that I feel like I can. So I thought in that moment, it was just a case of like, guys, I think you guys need me back in boxing.
Yeah.
But in all honesty, since then, shall I say, I've actually been a bit of a fan of him in terms of what he's actually pushing for. So, which did surprise me.
Yeah, you've turned. You went from not liking him to liking him. Definitely.
Again, it's what he's about in terms of what he's trying to push on to the sport.
Yeah.
And it's something that I guess it's kind of dear to my heart, and obviously affects me and affects a lot of my colleagues and a lot of up and coming fighters that, you know, I'm training with in the gym. And I would love to see them, whether it's even in my time, I would love to see in their generation, the next generation coming up, that they don't have the same struggles and have the same, complaints and things going through their career.
Will it ever change, you think? Honestly, like, I know you want it, but do you think it will change? Because I don't see, we've been talking about it for so long and nothing's changed, right? You guys still, I mean, fighter pay is pretty much the same. The revenue sharing is pretty much the same. Nothing's really changed. Do you think it ever changes?
We need a competitor that is willing to actually make those kind of things happen. If it doesn't start out with obviously the biggest show in mixed martial arts, if it doesn't start there and they're not willing to do it, other shows are going to have to be the first person to take that step, and it will definitely apply pressure to the bigger shows, because a lot of fighters are going to be like, you know what, it's better over there. I don't know. I want to try and help as much as I can. Fighters do need to come together. It is a difficult one. It puts a lot of people in under strain, or they get sidelined, or and that's another reason why we just need to come together. Somebody needs to organize something so that we can actually have a one stance.
Yeah, I think part of the problem is a lot of people, I think, share your opinion, but no one wants to emerge as that guy, right? No one wants to emerge as that first guy. And it gets a little complicated with Bellator, UFC, but for the most part, you guys are all kind of fighting for the same thing.
100%.
And you're put in a tough spot. I sympathize. It's hard to criticize. You're not doing it maliciously. You just want to get your fair share of the pie. But at the end of the day, in this sport, you could be punished for doing that, right? There's no meritocracy.
Exactly.
So it's tough.
Exactly.
You get that title, though.
Strange to be
you get that title, though. You get a big megaphone.
No, 100%. To be fair, I still feel, as we've said, even with guys that have belts, so some of them are still not as well known. With my next opponent. So even now, I definitely do have a megaphone. Anyway, a lot of what I say can be spun in the wrong way, and then I can get criticized for it. But the one thing about me is I always speak my mind. I always speak my heart. And as you say, I don't mean it in any malicious way. I'm just speaking from my personal experience and what it feels like from my point of view. Whether I'm correct in that, and I'm happy to always hear another side and then say, you're probably right there, and I probably could have done this, I should have done that. But I always like to be honest in the moment.
Mm-hmm. And so last time we had you on, we were talking about your contract situation. Has that changed now because you got the title shot?
Oh yeah, definitely.
So you got a new deal?
Yeah.
Congrats.
Thank you.
How many fights?
No, it's trying to think. I can't think of the actual whole thing. It kind of just got incorporated and added on, and so. But to be fair, I leave that to the Paradigm guys.
Yeah, I feel you. But were there any talks about testing the waters finally after all these years?
Sorry?
Were there any talks about testing free agency after all these years?
Nah, to be fair, again, after I had a talk with Bellator, I am happy with what how they responded to it. Mm-hmm. And again, as I say, this sport can be difficult with regards to the higher ups versus the fighter. So the way they responded to it was amazing. And I respect them for it. So it doesn't give me any reason to want to move anywhere.
Okay, good. I'm happy to hear that. And so at this point, do you feel like, what we know from MVP, you're a very entertaining fighter, and some love the, whatever you want to say, showboating, theatrics, some don't, but you are consistent with it. Against a guy like Yaroslav, we can't be doing that, right, in the fight, or am I wrong? He's so dangerous.
Oh, no. It has to be me all the way through. I'm either gonna. It's the same way I entered the sport. It's either gonna be me, and I'm gonna come into the sport as myself with my as you say, the theatrics, my style, or I wasn't gonna be in the sport at all. And it's the same going into this fight. It's either gonna be me with my style, with the theatrics, or there's no point in me taking the fight.
Wow.
And so I'm from beginning to end, I will always be me. Wow.
So even in this fight, with the stakes so high against arguably the toughest opponent you've ever fought, I would say that's an accurate statement considering what he just did to Lima. We're still going to see the dancing and the moving and all that stuff.
It all plays a part, and it's just become me. So if I neglect these things, I I almost take away from what I'm doing to my opponent in that moment. I know a lot of people just think it's just me just acting out, and the way I can belittle credible opponents. This is why I get such criticism on the other side. But like I said, I'll continue doing that, and I'll always be me.
How do you feel right now? I feel like UK MMA has never been better with the fighters in Bellator, the fighters in the UFC. I feel like UK MMA is on fire right now. Does it feel that way to you as well? That this is like the peak?
No, definitely. Definitely, there's a buzz. I think there's a lot of. I think we've got a big wave coming through, and we should see a lot of champions. I'm hoping to be one of them.
Do you feel like your Bellator career, because you've been there for so long, 16-1 in Bellator, it would have felt incomplete if you never got the belt? Like, did the belt really, for the longest time we were saying we wanted to see you fight for the belt, and they were kind of giving you the slow approach. But for you, is the belt validation? Is it something that you felt like you needed to get to sort of complete your career whenever that time comes?
It's more, it's part of the acknowledgement of my progression. There's been a few moments in my career, quite a few moments in my career where I feel like, okay, yeah, that's definitely shown my progression and so on and so forth. And this is another big statement that, nobody can really deny. It's definitely something that I would love to, be able to look back and say, look, I achieved this.
I may out myself here for a second, but you walked out with a hip hop artist last time.
Yeah.
Who was it?
Skepta. I help you out.
Yeah. Is he a UK based guy?
He's UK, but that guy's worldwide.
He's worldwide.
Like one of the greatest of our generation. And I've actually been listening to him since I was 14, 13, maybe.
How did this happen?
Or younger. Again, is when I say about like moments of progression, and it's also those acknowledgements from different people, and over time we kind of became friends just as beforehand. Anyway, he never even let me know that he was making the track. He just released it.
Wow.
And he just went into the lab and it got to work, released the track, and then I was just like, I have to use it for that. We spoke again. I was like, you have to perform that. He's like, yeah, I was always going to. I was like, cool, man, let's make it happen.
Wow.
It was an epic moment, man. I really did enjoy that moment a lot, to the point where I was so hyped up, and I think the crowd was as well. I got into the cage and my coach looked at me and he's like, calm down.
Really?
He was worried I was just gonna have like an adrenaline dump.
Yeah.
But I completely understand why, because seriously, that walk to the cage was unbelievable.
Oh, it was incredible. I love when it just makes the fight feel a little bit bigger, a little more special. It was back home for you, to have someone walk out with you. And that song isn't it called Bellator, that song?
Yeah.
That's wild.
Yeah.
That is wild.
Yeah,
and it's about you.
Yeah. It's obviously, it's a mixture. I just get mentioned in there as well.
Yeah.
In the chorus. So yeah, it's a cool track.
I didn't mean to disrespect. I mean, I'm more of a Dizzy Rascal guy, if I'm being honest. You know what I'm saying? I'm a little old.
You're way back.
I'm Dizzy Rascal.
Dizzy Rascal's old school, man. I'm gonna have to update you with some new stuff.
Okay.
I'm gonna have to update you.
I mean, of course. The greatest is Drake, right? To me, Champagne Papi's number one. I know that's not a cool pick.
Right now, wait. No. Right now, in terms of what he's done, what he's achieved, the fact that
longevity
he speaks on. Yeah, longevity he speaks on is you have to give him his props for that, man. He's unbelievable.
I'm going to get killed for this. People, the cool thing to say is Jay-Z, obviously Tupac, obviously Biggie. I just think the longevity and the hits, the amount of hits that Drake has had, I mean, it's unmatched in my opinion. And he's Canadian.
Yeah, he definitely. Again, you got Jay-Z's kind of like, I don't even compare him with anybody else. He's just
different level.
He doesn't exist in that world anymore.
Yes.
He's already the living legend. And honestly, if he wanted to pursue the music, he'd be the same as well. But he's an entrepreneur now, doing so many different things, helping so many different people. Music is probably the last thing on his list, although he comes from there. But yeah, no, in terms of longevity, I do agree. Drake is just unbelievable, unmatched, to be fair.
So when you walk out May 13th, do we have something special planned? I know it's a little early, but we got to top this now, right?
Yeah, no, definitely. And I'm taking my time. I never like to rush or have a snap decision because a lot of these things just come to me in the moments or in the lead up to a fight. So there's never any reason for me to kind of like snatch and grab something now. I always know that, as I'm going through my camp, as I'm, meeting different people, things just slowly fall into place. And it's been the same with all of my finishes. Everything just kind of fell into place. I think one of the most craziest ones was still the gauntlet one with David Rickles because Chris Pratt was outside with 50 Cent. He wasn't even supposed to be there per se. He kind of last minute decision. He happened to be filming in the area. Obviously, he's big in the Marvel world. I ended up using a glove. I wasn't even going to use the glove. Just the way it all kind of fell into place. And I like to kind of have those moments.
Oh, yeah. Also, the Pokemon one, that was huge.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
That got you a lot of love. By the way, before I let you go, March 19th, it seems like the UFC is coming to the UK for the first time in a while. And then there's your card, May 13th. Which one's going to sell more tickets?
Oh, London's my town. I don't care who's there. I always say the same thing. And I've been saying it throughout my whole career when they've said, oh, they're going to be putting you first for the TV card. Or how do you feel about not being on the main card or not being the main event? I said, I'm always the main event. I remember still that Cyborg fight. There was 2 fights after my fight. Yeah. Most people couldn't even tell you what that was, and they were there. A lot of people after my fight left the building. They were so pumped. They just wanted out. They just wanted to see if they can find me afterwards. London is definitely my city. So, I don't care. I'm definitely, and this is another reason why we've got so much time to actually put into work into promoting this. I've got a lot of stuff happening as well in the background.
Oh,
we're gonna have merch. I got an MVP token coming out in the crypto space.
Wow.
So we're doing a lot of yeah.
So there is an MVP NFT.
Yeah, it's coming. It's coming.
Okay. Wow. Okay.
It's coming, yeah.
How about that?
Definitely coming. So we're doing a lot of work for this one. This is why I'm kind of happy. The business side of me is very happy that we have the time to really put it in. I kind of hate the snap decisions of, oh yeah, next month we're doing this. I like it as a fighter, but like I said, to be able to really promote and actually for myself, for my pocket as well, to be able to get sponsors in at the right time and it takes a little bit of negotiation back and forth. So yeah, having that time is definitely amazing.
And it is good, unlike UFC and PFL, you guys can still get the sponsors, right? There are no restrictions there, correct? Are there restrictions? Like, are there certain ones that you can't?
I feel like I can't remember exactly what it is, but I'm sure there's a couple that Bellator have exclusive rights with certain people, so they won't allow certain things. But to be fair, the majority of the time, I don't think I've ever had issues of a sponsor that I've gotten that they've had any issues with. So so far so good. Yeah. So that is a great aspect of Bellator.
Well, I can't wait. What a huge fight. Yaroslav Amosov, his first title defense going up against the one and only Michael Venom Page. May 13th, SSE Arena in Wembley.
Yep.
I was cursing you out internally. I was like, wow, this dude, this dude's standing me up. I mean, how many years has he been on my show? I mean, finally he gets a title shot. He's standing me up. By the way, is Wembley a place or is Wembley just, I know it's the arena, but is Wembley an actual place or is it Wembley in London? How does that work? I always was wondering about that. Like SSE Arena, is it a town?
No.
Okay.
It's just the building. And then obviously Wembley is a place. And obviously SSE happens to be in Wembley.
So SSE, so Wembley is an actual place where the arena is. It's not just the name of the arena.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's in London.
Yeah. That's in London. Yeah.
Okay. All right. I would like to go one of these days. Michael, thank you very much. I appreciate it.
No problem.
Good luck to you. Thanks for coming on. I know it was a big day for you, the news coming out, so we appreciate you very much.
Definitely.
And don't worry, I won't hold it against you that you didn't respond to my text or anything like that. The music made up for it, okay? Now why don't you play us out? What do we got? What do we got?
I just shut everything off. I'll get you back.
All right, fine. I don't want to put you on the spot. Thanks, my friend. All the best to you, and we'll talk to you soon.
You. Much respect. Take care.
All right, there he is, Michael Venom Page, the man. Some nice tunes there.